If it's morning time, grab your coffee. If it's the afternoon, grab like a little lemonade or samosa. What are they called? Samosas? Bottomless mimosas. It's a samosa. If it's the evening, get your wine because it's time for a chit chat.
Cause what I've seen so far is heaven sent, eloquent and decadent. Every drop you send my way, I hold on, babe.
Hey everyone, I am Josey. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different. I want to have a little chit chat with you guys outside in nature and just really express, you know, some things that have been on my heart that I want to share with you guys. If you guys hear the birds chirping, it's because I am on my deck, so it is pretty loud, but I hope that it kind of brings a little bit of comfort and atmosphere to this video, so I hope it's not too much chatter. So in this video I just want to I don't know what that was. Anyway, so recently I was in the shower, and you know, you do your best thinking while you're in the shower. It's something about that hot water, and it really cleanses all of the BS that might be in your brain. It's something in there that will really cause you to start thinking. It'll cause you to really start thinking. And you know, I was just like, I claim to love myself, but I just started thinking like, dang, like the amount of times that I have put conditional value on my self-worth is freaking crazy. It's crazy. First of all, I'm here to tell you guys that if you put stipulations or conditional value on your self-love, it is not sustainable. I'm here to tell you guys why you might be struggling in your self-love journey, why you might be ultimately self-sabotaging your practice on self-growth and self-love, and how you can make an intentional change to realign your thinking process and ultimately start attracting the love that you deserve, because it really does start within us. We cannot like attract what we want if we do not align ourselves with the same like thought process. Our own beliefs have to be in tune with what we want to attract as well. Meaning, if you cannot properly love yourself, if you cannot properly see your self-worth and your self-value, you are going to struggle with attracting friendships, relationships, colleagues, co-workers, people in around you within your inner circle who love you the proper way. Yeah, it's that deep. It is that deep. Let's get into it. Number one, so have you ever told yourself, okay, when I reach this goal in my life, I am sure that I will love myself more. Whenever I get to this size, whenever I get to this weight, whenever I get this degree or this certification, or whenever I grow my hair out, or whenever my teeth get straightened, or whenever I get into a relationship, whenever I like whenever you ultimately will be like, dang, like whenever I have my life to where I want it, then I will be deserving of love, then I will show myself more love, I'll ultimately become like this better person. And you tell yourself these things thinking that it is a motivational push to acquire the life that you are desiring. You tell yourself these things because you don't want to imagine yourself where you are in the present. I was loud. You basically put yourself in this box, and you tell yourself the lid will open up and my life will become this magical, beautiful, loving, like fairy tale once you acquire all of these goals. And you tell yourself these things, and ultimately you become depressed in the present moment, because until you reach those goals, kind of like shut yourself off from loving where you are in the present moment. You told yourself, until I acquire that lifestyle, until I reach my dream body, my dream occupation, I am not enough in this moment, and I cannot love who I am right now. I can't imagine somebody else loving me, this version of me, loving who I am right now. And I don't like myself, I don't love myself, and maybe when I get to that goal, maybe when I reach that weight, I will love myself. Yeah, that thought process, pack that box up, drop it off, ship it far away, and hopefully it'll end up in a landfill somewhere and be destroyed, because that thought process is extremely unsustainable if you are trying to heal and grow within your self-love journey. As someone who has put stipulations on like my self-love before, I reached goals. I reached goals that I had been dying to reach for years. I am 22 years old and I've reached goals that I had since middle school. Although the goals that I reached ultimately brought me a little bit more comfort, they did not help me progress in my self-love journey, because my journey is mental. It is a mental thing. It is something within you. Your version of self-love cannot be conditional. It cannot hold conditional value. So the more that you put all of these conditions onto, oh, like, I'm gonna love myself when I look like this, when I look like that, the more you are doing a disservice to yourself. I grew up as a black woman as a black woman growing up in the United States. Okay, society is already pushing these beauty standards automatically right off the bat. A dark-skinned, bigger black girl that I was, I did not fit the beauty standard. And it's not to say that I wasn't beautiful, it's not to say that I wasn't deserving of love. It just automatically, I do not fit the beauty standard in society. And so my femininity, when it came to what is the epitome of beauty, I felt like it was always put into question. My entire existence of being a young woman, it was already like, am I deserving of love? Because I'm looking around me, I'm watching Disney Channel, I'm watching Nickelodeon, I'm watching all of these things, and I'm seeing the main stars are very thin, paler, light-skinned white woman, straight hair, blue eyes. And automatically my brain began to program a sort of thinking, if you will, that if I can acquire similar things, if I can assimilate myself to what I am seeing on TV, then my femininity will be compromised less. I will acquire like this love that I'm seeing these other girls get, the love that I'm seeing my peers get. People in middle school are dating, they're getting asked on dates, getting flooded with text messages, their posts are getting liked. What is different about me? Like my size, my skin color, the fact that I'm a black girl. I felt so disconnected with, sorry, there's an airplane coming over, but I felt so disconnected with my femininity at a younger age, because although I was being told, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm this, that, and a third, when you're growing up in a society where you are not the main beauty standard, at such a young age, you begin to think all of these things that negatively impacts your self-image. Ultimately, I told myself, the disrespect anyway. Ultimately, I told myself, if I could just wear my hair a certain way or look a certain way, that I'll be enough. I'll be enough. Hopefully I'll be enough one day. I told myself, oh, if I lose weight, that was a huge thing for me. Weight loss, it was like grained into me at such a young age that I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight. And that once I lose weight, I'll have this awakening of like self-love, self-image, and I will just be all of these things and more, and I'll finally attract the men, the love that I desire and the love that I crave, and I'll love myself and everything will be lollipops and rainbows, peaches and cream, and like, oh my god, my life is gonna be so great. Girl, none of that matters if you don't know how to love yourself. None of that matters. None of it, none, when I say none of it matters, none of it matters, okay? I know there are gonna be people out there that are like, oh well, when I lost weight or when I look like this, that, and the third, I just became happier. I became da 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 da. And it is true in a sense where my quality of life improved because of my weight loss, but I am talking about how I just overall view myself. I told myself at such a young age that when I reach my goals, not only will I just magically love myself more, but I would finally allow others to love me. And this way of thinking led me to a never-ending cycle of isolation, negative self-image, and a conditional self-love. I put my self-love in a box and I told myself it will be open once I reach this condition. And I lost over like 100 pounds, and I thought that, oh my god, like I will finally love myself, I will da 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 da. And let me tell you why it's unsustainable, baby. Because I put a condition on when I will love and cherish myself, when I will love my body, when I will finally accept my body and who I am, and I was told myself, oh, okay, I will finally love me. I got to that goal and I was like, wow, like I reached this goal. Then I look in the mirror, and the body dysmorphia that is built because I put that condition on myself can really cause so much damage. I see loose skin or stretch marks, or I'm just like, geez, like I want abs now. I want perfect boobs. I want a perfect butt. I want a sharper chin, a sharper jawline, da 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 da. And maybe when I acquire those things, maybe that magical peaches and cream fuzzy feeling that I'm looking for, maybe it will come. And then I started thinking about, dang, geez, I wish I would have loved myself when I was bigger, or when I was this size. I lost out so much time. I lost so much time focusing on future me and not enjoying who I was in the present, not accepting her. And now I mourn the time lost, the time I spent wasting away at this image that I wanted of myself. It became like, dang, like I'm wasting time. And when I reached this goal, like, yes, I do feel more confident. I do feel like more comfortable in the clothes that I wear. But when it comes to my self-image, there's a difference. There is a difference between, oh, I'm confident now, I'm able to wear certain things I wasn't able to wear before, shop certain places I wasn't able to shop, but my self-image still lacked that sparkle, that magic, because I was putting so many conditions on myself. The moment that you start putting conditions on yourself, it'll never end. There will always be something that you will fix, going to pile it all on, and that is why it'll never end. It'll, like, you know, like I had to step away from this idea that once I reach all of these goals, oh, once I get to this many followers, this ideal size, you know, like I will be enough. Another thing that I struggle with is I have a chronic illness. My chronic illness is called hidradenitis suppurativa, and basically it can cause deep cystic acne underneath the skin. It can cause severe scarring. And I really let that play a role into my self-image. I let it impact my self-image in such a negative way, because not only did I grow up a bigger, dark-skinned black girl and my femininity was questioned, putting a chronic illness on top of that just felt like it cannot get worse. It cannot get worse than this. That's what it really genuinely feels like. It feels like that I am not woman enough, and that who can love me now? Who is going to want to desire me? Who is going to find me attractive and beautiful? And I realized that, bro, like, aren't we all human? Don't we all have something about us? Aren't we all flawed? Why would I want someone, okay, just why would we want someone who sees our human flaws, who we are, and they say I cannot love you because of those things? And ultimately I had to realize, like, if I wouldn't want someone like that, why would I want that conditional self-love for myself? Why would I tell myself I am not able to be loved because of all of these things that make me me? I am a physical form. I am living in a human shell of a body, okay? I am going to fluctuate. My weight is going to fluctuate. I'm going to break out. I'm going to lose weight and gain weight and lose weight, and I might get pregnant one day. I might have even more hormonal imbalance, stretch marks. My hair might fall out. It's gonna be gray. My feet might get bigger. My boobs might get smaller. Like I'm human. I'm human. And there are millions of people out there that deal with chronic illnesses, and in my mind I'm just thinking, like, I cannot be loved in this state of being. But why what like that's crazy. There are millions of people fighting so many things, fighting cancer, fighting non-terminal illnesses, fighting auto-inflammatory illnesses and autoimmune illnesses. There are many people out there who are gaining and losing weight, many people out there who are burn survivors, who have lost ligaments, who have lost fingers and toes and arms and legs and eyes and ears, and they are being loved and valued and cherished. And we think that we are less deserving. And like, that's crazy. You do not have to put a condition on yourself. You do not have to tell yourself, because I suffer from this, and this, because I have these flaws, because I am not where I want to be, that I am not deserving of love from someone else. At your lowest, someone can completely and inevitably 100% love you unconditionally. That is the love of God. That is your birthright, is to be loved for who you are in this present moment, at your lowest moment, at your highest moment. You can reach all of these goals that you want to acquire for your life. You can reach them, all that you want. The love that you are deserving of will remain the same. Just because you might be here and you feel like your goals in life are up here, doesn't mean that the love that you deserve is the same. Your love does not rise with the amount of goals that you accomplish. The love that you deserve is 100% consistent all the time. You were born a human, you will die a human, and from the moment that you popped out of your mother's womb, you are deserving of all of the love in the world. You have to stop putting because I'm speaking for myself too, we have to stop putting so many conditions on ourselves in order to love ourselves and grow. True love is not based on a goal. Love is an action, and you have to act as though you are deserving of love, no matter what stage you are in your life. And this will shift you from living so much in the future and having so much anxiety about ultimately where you'll end up, and it'll shift you back to the present moment. That does not mean that, oh, because you love yourself now unconditionally, that all your motivation will wash away, that your goals mean nothing, that you can't go out there and reach your goals. No, it just simply means that you're not waiting for tomorrow to love yourself. You're not waiting and holding on to love yourself, because if you sit there and do that, it will not matter how many goals that you reach. You could wake up tomorrow a millionaire. Sure, you know what, $1 million does sound really nice. Real love comes from the present moment. It comes from loving yourself unconditionally. When we watch like romantic movies, think of the most intimate parts. The most intimate part in a movie is not when they're all glammed up wearing fancy clothes, living lavishly. The most intimate settings are when someone's been hurt and wounded, when someone is sick, and when someone is being taken care of. And that is the love ultimately that I know I want in my life. If I can't love myself in those flawed moments, I cannot attract someone that will love me at my worst, at my lowest, at my most flawed. And that's what I want for myself. That is what I deserve. That is what you deserve. Why would you want a partner who does not love you in that way? If you feel like, geez, this person will not love me because I have all this acne, or my hair is coarse or kinky or short, or I am overweight, I am this, that, and third, yada yada. Honestly, ditch them. Like, F them. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm not saying like you should be out there with someone who doesn't want to keep themselves together, but I'm saying that us as humans, we fluctuate so much in our lives that you want someone who loves you for you. And if someone is with you based on looks and looks alone, that is not sustainable love. That is conditional. I finally like lost weight, and the men that I attracted, it was such a drastic change. But in reality, I would rather someone love me for who I was when I didn't deem myself worthy of love. I would want someone to look at her and see her for who she really is and love her unconditionally. Because let's face it, I'm only going to be 22 one time. I'm only going to be this young one time, and who knows what I'll look like in the future. I would not want to set myself up to be loved conditionally. So if you feel like, oh, I won't be loved until I look this way, until I look a certain way, why would you want to be loved that way? Why would you only want to be loved that way? Like, think about it. Why would you only want to be loved for what's on the surface? If they cannot love you for who you are and your personality, baby, they're for the birds. Yeah, for the birds. Learning to love myself in the present and no longer self-sabotaging my own self-image and rewiring my way of thinking has been ultimately my new practice. Learning to be present with where I'm at, learning to love myself, all flaws and scars and all, at whatever weight I'm at now, whatever body type I'm at now. I realized like I had to throw out colorism, I had to throw out fat phobia, I had to throw out texturism, I had to throw out ableism. Even that, like if you are out there and you are not able-bodied, whether it's a invisible illness or people can see it, and you throw it out, throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. You are still deserving of love like everybody else. You have to learn how to love yourself without those conditional thoughts. And so ultimately that is my message for today. Relearning how to accept those things. Learning that my self-love has to be unconditional no matter where I'm at in my life. So if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, start finding 3 good things about yourself on the surface. Even if it's hard, think about it. Think long and hard. Say 3 things about yourself that you love on the inside, your personality. Write them down every single day. When you look in the mirror, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're washing your face, say 3 things that you love about yourself on the surface, 3 things that you love about yourself personality wise. Put it into practice. Focus on being present with yourself, not living in the future until you reach these goals in your career or within your body or all of these other things. Learn to be present with who you are now, and I promise you, the way that you carry yourself will ultimately change. When you become present with yourself, you can still have the motivation to change the narrative of your life, but you have to be present, because if you reach those goals and you have neglected your self-image, you're going to reach those goals and still be unfulfilled. And this is coming from someone who has done it. Now, I don't want to step into a new chapter of my life without loving the chapter that I'm currently living in, because that is what life is about. Life is not in the future. Life is not in the past. Life is right now, and you cannot live and meet these goals if you're too busy concerned about future you. Okay, so you'll see future you in the future. Like, live now, because this version of yourself was future you 5 years ago. You just have to own who you are in the present, love who you are in the present, and love the evolution of life and your journey. And once you can do that, your life will ultimately shift drastically. So I want you guys to take this message and apply it to your daily lives. And I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, listening, and hopefully you guys can take something from this. If you're watching this, turn it on when you need a pick-me-up or some motivation, or when you're doing, you know, your makeup or your hair, or when you're getting up in the morning. You can play this. Just let it resonate with you. I hope that you guys leave with good energy and a more positive outlook on your self-image, and I wish you guys the best in your healing and self-love endeavors. I am Josey, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.